Tommy goes to Mars. He knew a fellow Saturday the night he rang the doorbell at Tommy's house. Mr. Tompkins had bought a new telescope. He had invited Tommy's friend to look through the big new telescope. Tommy's mother answered the door. She smiled to see the excitement on Andy's face. "Everyone is out in the backyard," said Mr. Tompkins. When Andy reached the backyard, he saw his friend lined up behind the big telescope. Lucy was peering through the eyepiece of the telescope. "Wow, this is great," said Lucy. "I can see lots of craters." "You are looking at the planet Mars," said Mr. Tompkins. "Notice how red is it? Look, Sam, you can tell which is Mars without the telescope. It looks like a big red star." "I want to see through the telescope." "Come on, let me see," Lucy begged. "Then, in my turn." Lucy would have liked to spend more time looking at Mars, but she let Sam have a turn. Mr. Tompkins continued to tell the children about the red planet. "Mars is the fourth planet out from the sun. Mars is smaller than Earth, but larger than Earth's moon," said Mr. Tompkins. "A year on Mars is 687 Earth days. A day is 24 hours and 14 minutes, almost the same as here on Earth. But I don't want to bore you with facts and figures," said Mr. Tompkins. "Oh no, Mr. Tompkins is not boring," said Ken. "Please tell us more about Mars." "Okay, it's very cold on Mars because it's farther away from the sun. In the Mars winter, the temperature can drop to minus 125 degrees
Celsius,
continued Mr. Tompkins. "There are also very strong winds. The wind causes
gigantic
dust storms. Mars wouldn't be a very pleasant place to visit," said Mr. Tompkins. Tommy looked at Andy. Andy smiled and whispered, "I think I would like to visit Mars." Tommy replied, "I think that could be
arranged.
The next day, the 5 friends gathered in the park. Tommy asked everyone to listen to him. "Andy and I would like to visit Mars. What about the rest of you?" asked Tommy. "It's very, very cold there," answered Ken. "It is super windy on Mars," said Lucy. "I know," said Tommy, "but we can ask Rocket to take us to Mars of the future. I'm sure that humans will find a way to live safely on Mars. Maybe in a couple of 100 years' time," added Andy. "As Rocket suggested, Sam. He may know." Tommy pulled his little robot friend from his jacket pocket. "Rocket, do you know anything about Mars?" asked Tommy. "Of course I do," replied Rocket. "Will know everything about the fourth planet from the sun in what those people call the solar system. Mars has a
Diameter.
Diameter of 6,786 kilometers. The
Atmosphere.
atmosphere on Mars is composed mainly of carbon
Dioxide.
dioxide with small amount of
Nitrogen.
and argon and stars. Said Tommy. We want to know if humans will
Settle.
settle on Mars in the future. Oh yes, said Archival. Humans will be living on Mars 215 years from now. The friends smiled and decided that they would go to Mars. I told Tommy which number to press. Tommy pressed the number on the little robot chest. Within seconds, there was a first light, and the car was blue smoke. Tommy and his friend were on their way to Mars. When Tommy opened his eyes, he saw a rocky area covered with red dust. What about our spacesuits? asked Sam. You don't need spacesuits, said Archival. The humans have controlled the
Atmosphere.
atmosphere. On Mars, it is now safe for Earth people. Tommy spotted a cave. It was high up on the side of a hill. Let's go up to that cave, he said. We can have a better view of that nearby. They set off to climb the hill. When they reached the entrance to the cave, Ken pointed out what looked like buildings way off the distance. They looked like big gas bubbles. Each had a tall
Antenna.
sticking out of its center. They looked inside the cave. That then, the friends slowly walked into the darkness of the cave. "Look," shouted Ken. "There are paintings on the walls." Tommy switched on the first light, and they inspected the paintings. Most of the paintings showed astronauts in spacesuits. There were also pictures of different types of spacecraft. Suddenly they heard a noise. It sounded like rocks falling at the back of the cave. "Oh, what's that?" said Ken. Tommy turned Archival's light toward the directions of the noise. They were all shocked to see a little person
Huddled.
huddled in the corner, but it wasn't a human being. It had a very large head, huge eyes, and a small mouth. It didn't have a nose. What is that? asked Zen. It's a young Martian.
Martian.
And so, okay, fine. I didn't think there was life on Mars, said Lucy. They were surprised when the Martian began to speak. "We have been living underground for
Centuries.
centuries," says Martian. The Martian was very frightened.
Frightened.
It was trembling with fear. "Please don't be afraid of us," said Tommy. "We will not hurt you. What is your name?" "My name is Krolik." "You may not mean to hurt me," he said, "but most of the people of Mars have died since the Earthling
Earthlings.
Earthlings can hear. Your people have brought sickness to Mars. We don't have any
Diseases.
diseases, so then we have to be very careful. There are very few of us left, said Krolek. We would like to help your people, said Tommy. What can we do? Make the Earthlings go away, said the little Martian. Make them go before we all die, he begged. Tommy sat down on the floor of the cave. He was quiet. He was trying to think of the way to help the Martians. How do the Earthlings communicate?
Communicate.
Communicate with each other, asked Tommy. They communicate with these headsets. I found this one near their buildings, said Krolek. We can hear everything they say. Good, said Tommy. I have a plan that will send our
Fellow
humans away from Mars. Your people will then be free from the diseases they have brought here. I hope your plan will work, said Krolek. First, can you take us closer to where the Earthlings live? Asked Tommy. Follow me, said a little Martian. We will have to take a tunnel underground. To be continued.